So guys, you're going to see a case study with my client Nishkash. He actually runs a short-form content agency and helps SaaS businesses as well as personal brands, but primarily SaaS businesses. Of course, create their short-form content, create a community, and at the same time run some paid ads so that they can monetize and speed the growth of the SaaS inside of the community with the conversion that they put in place. Okay. I just hope that you enjoyed this interview. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will leave a link in the description of this video so that you can book a call in case that you're ready to go. Otherwise, I will also leave the link to my Instagram in case that you just want to see other case studies and other things that we have going on in the backend. Okay, guys? Hope that you enjoyed this one. Bye. Nishkash is a client of mine that joined the program approximately 3 months ago, right, brother? Approximately
Right.
3 months.
Right.
Yeah. So, brother, I think that the best place to start is going to be by you letting everybody that watches this video, everybody that is listening to this, maybe on the podcast, whatever it might be. What is it that you do a little bit more? And most importantly, man, like where were you 3 months ago when you started and where you are at now?
Gotcha. So, getting started off with what it is that I do. I basically work in the whole content marketing thing, right? Taking content, specifically short form content, to be able to take people to where they want to be, right? When I started off 3 months back, I was specifically doing YouTube and scaling contents through scaling people's YouTube channels through social media. But I knew that it was sort of a bit saturated overall, and it being the generic short form guy is something that no one wants to be. So Enrique actually, like, we came together, we created some sort of a plan, and we tapped into a niche that was a completely untapped, and that's something that I'm still taking an unfair advantage of. But to start off, I was at, I think, 3K MRR back when I started, and right now I'm at 15K approximately, right? So that's what it looks like.
Awesome.
And yeah,
I'm
overall,
not, sorry, man. Yeah, it's just that I'm super happy for you, and it makes me feel really proud because honestly, something that I really loved about you, man, since the moment that you joined, is that I remember that you came to every coaching call excited, and you always were asking questions, and you were literally every single day sending reports like, "Hey, man, today I booked 4 calls. Hey, man, I'm booking 2." But brother, I want you to, maybe for people listening, man, like, what is it that made you want to take that decision when you started to work with me?
well, the most important thing that you were promising instead of your competitors was that I can stand up with myself and not having to rely on someone else as a done for you thing. So that was the best thing, that you teach everything, and you teach in a brilliant manner, in the fact that, like, it explains your geniusness throughout. Like, anyone who, like, it's just that I bet anyone can go talk to you for 10 minutes and explain the level of shit that you have that's going back there. But right, like, every question, every answer, that's what that's a fix right there. So
but also, dude, like, that's something that, again, I want to really make an emphasis on, dude. Like, you are here right now, and listen, of course, short-form content as a service for people that are watching this is a great option. There's lots of opportunity for short-form content. I am like on my little war against short-form content. You know why? Like, when I talk to my YouTube videos, but it doesn't mean that short-form content as a service to offer in the marketplace is saturated. Like, you're the proof of that, man. Like, when you were on the organic validation phase with the VAs, dude, like, can you explain to people listening or watching, like, how many calls were you booking? A little bit of how our process was, and maybe what is it that you liked about the outbound prospecting process that we teach, so that you can maybe talk about that.
So I booked 250 fresh leads. I was getting 30 to 35 new prospects every single day through just sending 100 DMs per day, right? 100 highly qualified DMs, and 18, 20, 24, 25, 30 was the number that it someday reached. And I was able to book good 10, 5, 8. Yeah, like, it depends upon how hard I work, because I did not had an appointment setter, but easy 8 calls every single day just through having a VA. And that was a really powerful system. But it's just that I did not have my shit together back then, and I was like a little bit procrastinating upon the work that I knew I needed to be doing. So that backed me off and took me 3 months to be able to reach the goal that I might have took one.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, I heard you. I promise you that people watching this are going to be like, dude, this has to be fake. Like, it's impossible that this guy was booking that amount of calls. But dude, like, I remember, like, what channel were you using? You were on Twitter, right? You were doing
Twitter,
everything.
right?
Yeah, yeah, man. Because a lot of people say, "Hey, man, Twitter doesn't work. That's just for bullshit or whatever it might be." But dude, it's really powerful, right? And you don't have you don't get banned that easily. You can share a lot of things in there, like just thoughts, and that actually makes a lot of people resonate. I would like to know a little bit more, brother, about what is it that you enjoyed the most from the actual program so far? Because another thing that I want people to know, Nishkars is where he is at right now, but he has not even started running ads. That's all organic. That's all just from outbound prospecting. And of course, like we of course sat down and we made your offer. I remember with SaaS, right? All of these things that we did specifically for you were the actual magic formula to kickstart your journey as a business owner, man. But realistically, I want you to talk a little bit more in depth about what is it that you enjoyed the most from the program and what did you found the most helpful inside of the program?
Okay. So the most thing the best thing that I'd say that was the best for me, the best experience for me was learning by myself, but not learning by myself. So it's like, I know that the solution is right there, right in front of me, because Enrique was a live example of the goal that I wanted to reach, right? But it's upon tackling the problems and having believe in myself that I can do this, right? When I joined, I was really against myself upon the fact that no, this is just something that's working with Enrique and it's not possible with me or something like that. But upon every single coaching call, you came into fact the belief that this is 100% possible, and you have to keep faith in yourself to make sure that you are able to achieve. And that's what it looks like right now.
Yeah, awesome, man. Because you know that the magic is in the little details. Like, do you remember when I used to tell you, hey, man, always go and check the Google Sheet CRM, because that's where you need to focus all your follow-up efforts on. Or the KPI tracker. Man, I know that it sucks to keep that shit updated, but remember when I told you, hey, man, just sometimes you rely I'm not talking you specifically, Nishkars, I'm talking about business owners in general. They rely way too much on emotions. But the moment that you start to track numbers and you say, hey, man, my outbound efforts are actually working. Like, I'm getting on average, like you said, 20, 15, sometimes even 30 replies out of 100 DMs that you were sending. That's when things start to magically click, man. Because that way you say, hey, fuck my feelings, things are working, let me just double down on this. And I know for sometimes at the beginning, more than anything, when you were figuring out the angles, maybe you got just like 8 or 9% reply rates, which is still pretty great, to be honest. But dude, I remember that you were like, hey, how on earth? Because I remember on the coaching calls that I literally used to share my KPI tracker. I was like, hey, dude, look at the amount of calls. And of course, it's not like I was showing off. It's just like, hey, it's just math, man. Like, this is the actual amount of book calls because these are the amount of replies and this is the amount of follow-ups that we're making. Boom, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls booked per day. And that's the same effect that, of course, I always try to make a big emphasis on for you guys as clients, right?
So for everyone who's watching this, the one key thing that I'd like to tell you is that it's all numbers, right? Like, everything is all numbers, and people think that, oh no, it's not possible for me to book 4 or 5 calls per every single day. It's all numbers, right? So that's the best thing that I like about the program that I was enrolled in.
Yeah, dude, like something that I would love that you share with people listening. What were some of the challenges that you faced? Because I also believe that, of course, this is going to be a case story, and my intention is that people that watch this video maybe are thinking or are on the fence of buying from me. Don't see or don't think that I'm just going to paint my offer as the best thing on earth that exists out there. I think it is, but outside from that, I want to show a real life example of someone that also has a struggle. Of course, when you got started on the program, you had a certain set of challenges and problems, like booking calls or getting clients. Then maybe what happened was that, hey, you already solved those issues. AKA booking calls and getting clients is no longer an issue, like at least when it comes to organic outbound prospecting. I want you to share with viewers and watchers, what are some of the challenges that you're having now that you are in the scaling phase of your business? That's what I want you to do.
So the most horrifying challenge that I was not disciplined.
Yeah.
and I did not believe that my business would work.
Yeah.
Right. So like everything else is temporary. I know I was never not at all good at appointment setting, not at all good at talking to conversations on people. And as you told me on the coaching calls that having those one-on-one conversations and actually booking the calls, I was never even good at managing what the VAs look like. I was not good at let's say closing those clients on the sales call, which is a dreadful task. But the most important thing that I figured out on the way which took me from 3K to 15K is getting my shit together. If you have the discipline, if you believe that you are able to do it and you just put in the hours, you'll get to it.
100%, man. Something that still up to this day, I've told you, hey man, you should go to bed a little bit earlier. Remember? They always told, but it's because I mean you're in India, right? Right now you're in India.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean for us over here in in Costa Rica, but let's say in America in general, it's just midday. But for you, it's like midnight almost, right? So I mean, of course, there are some things that you need to maybe give up a little bit on, since of course when you take sales calls, dude, like even I remember sometimes on the onboarding call that you woke up like at 3 a.m. or something, and dude, like honestly, again, I just want to it just goes to show like how committed you are to getting everything done, man, and that's just something that, of course, it's not like the healthiest thing to do, but I really liked about you, man. I don't want to make this call super long and just like a straight up conversation. I would just love to know a little bit more of what are the next steps for you, man. Like, what do you feel right now that you're going to start doing now that you have more cash coming in? And again, what are the goals now? Like, I remember when you started, like you were saying, hey, 10K per month is impossible. Now you're at 15K per month. What do you expect next from your business? Can you walk us a little bit?
Yeah, when I started off with scaling people's YouTube channel through short form content. Then I went into SaaS, and how is it like SaaS and communities, and how is it that we're able to get those guys paying users through content. And I added a few more things in there. I added paid ads. I added cold DMs inside to make it a complete package, and bulk it for $7,000 to $10,000. That's what my plan looks like further. And I have the ad sets running, and I'm still taking on a few personal brand clients and all of that, but I have the ad sets coming, and you would be someone who is reviewing the ad sets, so that I could then run them through. And then with all the new cash that would be coming in, number one, I'd be focusing a lot on to hiring really great people. That's super important. You know how crucial it is. And number two, on developing sales tactics to be able to gather more clients and punch them through, so that we are able to grow this to 50K, 100K, 500K.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, man, like the sky is the limit for sure. And tomorrow, on tomorrow's call, we're going to definitely venture more into that, like actually nailing down your ad sets, figuring out the ads that you're running, so that we can scale to the moon, right? Yeah, brother, I guess that the last thing that I want to ask you, for anybody else out there that maybe is on the fence on working with me, what would you say to them? Or maybe for some other people that are, like doing some price shopping or trying to see what other people are doing, what would you say to someone that is on the fence, or, like in that situation, about doing business with me in general?
Doing business with Enrique is going to be one of the most best decision that you might take in your life, because you just have a 10-minute call with Enrique, and you would understand how intelligent he is. And he's super engaged into, he's always ready to take up more challenges. And when it comes to actually devoting time to be able to solve your problem, he was always there with me, irrespective of the fact how filled his schedule was, how many calls more he had, how much more things that he wanted to do. He was always on a minute away on Facebook. He was like all the time there on the coaching calls, explaining to me everything is it that I wanted to ever ask from him, to be able to make sure that my business and scaling it is possible. I don't know, I've never seen someone as committed as Enrique is. And the level that he can go to make sure that his clients are going to be satisfied always. So that's something that I really appreciate towards.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, and listen, man, like I genuinely, not only because we're going to post this video, but I genuinely want to man, just be thankful for you, man. Like I am really grateful because you were one of the last clients that I signed when I was closing calls. Like then I started to hire my closers, etc. And I think that you were the last client that I ever signed myself. And I don't know why, but for some reason that's just like you also marked like a new beginning for me, like just being detached from the sales calls, etc. Of course, now I have to manage the team, etc. But I don't know, man. Like I generally appreciate you and just excited for you, man. Of course, you're going to stay on the community, and we're going to still crush it with the coaching calls. And you know, brother, that whatever it is that you need, I'm always going to be here for you. And for people watching this video, again, if you just watch the video for whatever reason and aren't quite sure on what's the next step, go ahead and book a call. Or if you are someone that maybe booked a call and are like looking forward for the next meeting, I hope that this helps you to have a really good idea of what to expect, right? But Nishkar, yeah, for people watching, where can they find you? And can you just say really fast, sorry for this, man, but can you say who do you help and specifically so that maybe if someone watches this video, they can refer you with some business or something so that they can know?
If you want to build a personal brand and scale it to heights, I would be the guy. If you already have a YouTube channel and you want to scale it further, I'd be the guy. If you have a SaaS and you are looking forward to get more paying customers, right? I'm working with Cubiloon, I'm working with Bullet.so. These are two really great startups. I'd be looking forward to working with more of them. But if you have a SaaS and you want to take it to the next level, I would be the guy. Right. So you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on my YouTube, and you can find me on Facebook. Just search Nishkar Agarwal and I'll be there.
Awesome. Brother Nishkar, thank you very much for the call. And well, see you tomorrow on the coaching call for sure. Awesome.
All right. Have a good day.